Mark in the count. The swing arm now coming back as our countdown continues.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's time for the Brick Something News, and that's me over here. And over here is the Nowhere Man, Derrick Chandler. What's going on, Derrick?
What's happening, Brick? How we doing today?
It's oh God, I was about to say it's hot, and I'm talking to someone from Louisiana. So I'm just fine. I'm totally fine. I can't complain.
How was that hike earlier, man?
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah, no, thanks for asking. Yeah, did I send you the video of the hawk?
You did. I was about to ask you, like, how big was that hawk, man?
That hawk massive. Was, I mean, probably about 2 feet from, no, maybe 2.5 from head to end of tail, just chilling, maybe about 9-10 feet away. And so I'm like, okay, hey, how are you? Yeah, I just kind of came over the ridge. Anyways, yeah, I like to escape the plastic reality every now and then to see real life animals, but then I come home to my 112-ish animals.
The safer animals.
Yes, but it was hot for the Bay Area. I got to say that. I was like right there by the water. Yeah. What's that?
What were your temperatures?
Oh, so again, kind of embarrassing, but it was like about 90. So right by the water.
That's good. That's comfy. You're over there in Cali, right? Yeah, you're in California. So
I am in California in the Bay Area. And so I've got a buddy, Rick Jones. I'm not sure if he's here today, but he was telling me I was just in Adam, Highly Articulated stream. And he was reporting there that he's sitting in 102, I think. So I was like, okay, I'm going to shut up now. That said, hello, welcome to Weather Talk. I hope everybody's doing well on this fine Sunday. Man, we are both going to be at Legion's Con this year.
Yeah, man.
And for me, and on top of that, we're both going to be sitting behind the Spiro Toys table. Like, to you, that's old hat. Yeah, well, to you, that's like, oh, yeah, whatever. To me, it's like, oh, this is going to be really cool. So we're going to meet in person for the first time. I'm going to meet Jason Bienvenue of Spiro for the first time, which is wild, having like spent so much time. Adam, I've met once before in person. My family met his family up in Vancouver a couple of Novembers ago. So was that a couple? A couple of Novembers ago, maybe. So either way, there's going to be that. And so I have been for the last couple of weeks sort of theming things around and gearing this show around the Legion's Con, because like there's all sorts of folks going to be there. And so, I wanted to pick other people's brains. So I'm really glad to have you on here. To kind of so you're gonna help me out, help me make sense of this, but also I'd love for you to share with the folks a little bit about what you're sort of expecting to see with Spiro's table and that kind of thing. So sound about right? Is that what I told you we'd be talking about?
Yeah, this, that, some other stuff.
Okay. Either way, it's the news, but like if you're coming here expecting actual news, it's the needless ephemera we saw. If you don't know what ephemera is, don't worry. It just means like needless garbage, trivia stuff. So some of it is like topical. Some of it is current. Some of it is not. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Legion's Con, and I want to focus a little bit more on the small companies that I know you've been to other cons with. Like you see, having done a couple of shows, you probably see a lot of the same people.
Oh yeah, man. That's actually if I can, that's actually one of my favorite things about it is that the familiar faces. If you've seen me at a con, you'll know that that's one thing I absolutely love is familiar faces. Oh yeah, man. Like I love seeing like they call it a community, man. Like, so, being able to get familiar with people in said community is lovely. And I will tell you, there are a lot of folks that I see quite regularly. Yeah. I'm talking to you, Terrence.
Yeah. Terrence, he did tell me that you were his creator. You're gonna have to share that story another time. But good to see you, Terrence. Yeah, seeing folks like Terrence, but also I think some of the vendors, right? It's like I'm assuming because I have done the band thing, and so I've done the tour thing where you're like, hey, we're with this band again, and hey, these people at this venue again, and sort of there becomes that kind of thing. And you sort of see the same people.
You see a lot of the same vendors, a lot of the same YouTubers, which is cool. And then I think my favorite thing is, especially doing a show like Legions, is you always get to see so much talent, man. Like there are a lot of really talented people out there. Like, holy crap! I think that's probably the biggest thing for me, especially last year at Legions, was just you're in a room full of like I said, just incredibly talented people. So it's really, really cool, man. I love it. Seeing so Savage Crucible. I mean, we spent a majority of last year traveling, basically being like booth neighbors with them.
Nice.
Same thing with seeing we see Valiverse regularly at a lot of cons. This last one, doing Jelena, being able to see Brutal Realms, where they were directly across from us. To be able to talk with Jason and his crew was fantastic. You see a lot of the same people, which is really cool. So you start to build up a nice rapport. And anyway, but yeah, it's really cool. I love it.
I love that. I love it. That's totally yes. I'm looking forward to it, especially like, we got the internet now, and like a lot of us are doing. You mentioned the YouTubers. Like we see people, we interview people, we hang out with people, but it'll be nice to actually put some actual reality, some FaceTime with folks in real space. So on that note, let's talk to the people who have been here, and apologies for the folks who've been waiting. Normally we start at 3:45. We ran a little late. There's some mess that I'll get into in a little bit. But there was something going on with the feed. Like there's just all sorts of weird new stuff, Legions related, actually, straight out of Mythos. Yeah, there's so anyway, Goblins on the Run. We're gonna I think I've chosen a side on this issue, and I don't like to get political on the toy show, but I think to a certain extent, like I think we're at the point where enough's enough, and I'm gonna have to speak on this in a little bit. But I'll put a pin in that because it is actually related to LegionsCon, so it's also related. That said, Thanos was here first, and Thanos, thank you as always for helping out with the links.
What up, PC?
Josh Brown is here. Hello, Josh. This guy, part of the tribe, a key member of the AWOK tribe, and I know you just saw him at a show recently, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Brian George.
Always a pleasure.
And he'll be hanging out with me here in your square next week. So yeah, we'll talk some toy photography and all sorts of good stuff.
So real quick, I hate to bug you, but so Rick Jones, I'm sorry, every single time I see the name, I immediately in my head hear Mike Jones.
So that's where you go? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
My brain goes to
screw, baby.
My brain goes to Marvel Comics. Carol, hello, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Scott Baker. Good. I'm glad you made it, and I'm sorry I made you wait extra long because it looks like you've been sitting here for a little bit. So appreciate you. A lot of folks were over in Adam's chat earlier too, which is awesome, and we'll talk about that too. We've got Tiffany. What's going on, Tiffany? Great to see you. Specific question for me and Adam, who's not here, but you could. I know there's. So I got it. You're asking about from the original Kickstarter, the art book. I think Jason's spoken on that, but beyond.
It is still coming. Just like with everything in life, there's always hiccups that you don't initially foresee, but it is still coming. So, only thing we can ask is just to still be patient.
Word. But you know what? If you're not patient, you could sick your daughter on Derrick using those Taekwondo skills. No, don't. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to seeing Tiffany IRL at LegionsCon. That's awesome. There's so many.
I got to meet her last year. They came by the booth and they did a little interview with Jason, which was just the most adorable thing ever.
I love it. Fun fact: I took not exactly Taekwondo, but Farangdo from Master Jeet Kune Do, who was one of the earliest practitioners to bring it from Korea to the States. And I don't know if you're not probably old enough, but there was a show back in the day. Actually, you might be. That's Incredible. Were you alive then? No.
How young do you think I am?
I mean, I just assume everybody's younger than me.
So I'll be honest with you. I never really watched this show, but I am familiar with the program.
But you're familiar with it. Where they'd bring on like a variety show and there's like, there's this guy from Korea. He does Taekwondo. He's going to... Anyways, I did that for years. Anyway, Dora Laxon. I don't want to strictly blame it on Jay.
Incredible.
Yes. It wasn't Jay's fault at all. But I guess what I'm saying is it might have like maybe a doppelganger might have been involved. Goblin magic potions. It's a whole thing.
Just blame it on the pygmies.
Solo Sinner, hello. Thank you for stopping in. Always great to see you here. Let's see. Here you go. Well, waiting. Yes. It's not my fault. Damn it. It's the goblin. Let's see. Hey, there you go.
Hey, what's up,
no. Wasn't Adam's fault at all. Not at all. Not his responsibility whatsoever. He's responsible for way too much. He doesn't have to be responsible for that. Ray Black, always wonderful to see you. I think I missed you in the chat last night on Clubhouse. We did say TSJ is here. See, like he knows what's up. Yeah, I know he's been like incredibly involved in this whole goblin shenanigans. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna have to speak out on it soon. Ray Paz, ringleader. Hello. I need to know the story. You got to tell me. You got that new title. I forgot to ask you more about it.
He always looks so dapper in his little picture.
He does. He's looked that dapper for the longest time, as I've been seeing him on YouTube. Game Quest is here. Happy Sunday. Yes, time for the late Needless Ephemeral we saw.
You missed it. We talked about the weather.
Oh, we did.
That was about the most adult thing we're going to do.
We did. I was about to talk about my mortgage, but we can skip that. Literally Action Figures, LAF. Hello. Awesome to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Getting that high five. Nolan is, of course, here. Great to see you. Got to hang out with him last night. Sort of IRL. Online IRL. That doesn't make sense. But yes. Sinopa. ¿Quién más?
Is that Nolan Collects?
It is not Nolan Collects, but hey, while we're on that, Nolan Collects will be sitting in your seat in a couple weeks as well. Yeah, just it's a small world, but I want to pick the brains of people who have been handling Legion's Con already. Kenzo is here. He's here to talk to me about football because he knows that I have no idea about anything when it comes to.
Oh, you're not a sports guy?
Not a sports guy.
Oh man, neither you nor Jason. Dang.
Yay! Oh, that's right. We're like music nerds. Hello, what's going on, Thomas? Yes, only a few weeks away. I can't wait. We're definitely on that road. We are all on that road. The Witches Road. Never mind.
Ooh, been enjoying that.
I have two. Thank you. Thanks for bringing that up. I have two, and my kids and I have been singing down, down. Anyways, yes. Speaking moistly, good afternoon, dudes. Moistly.
Always makes me giggle.
Moistly. Lee Birdwell, hello. Awesome to see you here. Awesome to see new names. Red Exomac 5 is here. Sup? There he is. What's up, Aaron? Payne's Toy Samples. Good to see you. Glad you're able to hop on. Hope everything's good.
Hit that like button. Now.
What's that?
So hit that like button.
Oh yeah, I forget about it. There's a little button on YouTube. So this, if you could just give that a gentle tap or a smack, as some people like to do, just, yeah. That's incredible. See, yeah, we were watching that and then switching over to the young ones, probably around the same time. Dora Laxon. Larry's Geeky World is here. Been cleaning and have you on in the background. Good. How's that going? Hey, that you missed a spot over there, and if you can move that thing right over there, Larry, that'd be great. Sports ball. Didn't a guy stop bullets with his guts on? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember that, but I've been watching a lot of One Piece lately. Sorry, my brain's all over the place. Monkey D. Luffy for the win. Okay. Thank you to everybody who was here. Appreciate you. And thank you to everybody who might be dropping in later and on the replay. I know this is already a little bit late, but as we said, I'm here with Derrick Chandler from Spiro Toys. We're going to be hanging out at Legion's Con. He's been he's done Legions Con, but has also done a ton of other cons and exhibiting and vending for Spirit Toys. But he's also, I hear, into toys. I don't know. There's stuff behind him that look like toys. Can you give us a little bit of context of just your like toy buying habits and interests? Just for context, curious.
So up until about a year ago, I was a vintage guy, minus NECA TMNT cartoon line. That was about the only modern thing I was getting. No G.I. Joe Classified, no Marvel Legends, got rid of all that, right?
Okay.
Like I was into all that early, got rid of it. And then started working for a little toy company called Spiro. And so now I collect a lot of Marvel Legends. Still select G.I. Joe Classifieds. So it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yep.
I just got my first Valaverse figures. I got the Bone Collector and Pandora, which, man, those are really awesome. I'm not going to lie to you. I hate the fact that I slept on that line for so long. The price point for what you get is fantastic. So much so that I had to buy 2 of their little weapon packs. My collecting habits are kind of like this. If I like it, if it's for a good price, and it'll fit in with something that I'm already collecting, chances are I'll probably pick it up. Or if you're someone that I consider to be a friend in the community and I want to show support. Like when we did Joe Fest, I'm not really a 3 3/4 inch collector anymore, but a lot of my acquaintances, that's the scale that they mess with. So I wanted to show support, and
totally get
so
that.
I went home with more 3 3/4 inch stuff than anything else from that. But it's just, I like to support my friends in whatever their endeavors are, and toy brings me joy too. So it's a win-win for everybody.
You and I are of a very similar mind when it comes to sort of this toy collecting game. I think pretty much our rules are the same, except for you had one about like if the price is right. And I'll admit that sometimes I spend stupid money for things that I think are cool. So, but generally it's all the same.
I will tell you, I am not the most financially responsible person, as you can see behind me.
We can't be if we're into this stuff, but keep going.
But I do, like I try to be thrifty. Like I don't really suffer from FOMO, especially like here where I'm at. Like I know, because the collectors that are around me don't really collect the same thing that I do, which is great. So like when it comes to NECA Ninja Turtles, I never have to worry about that. I know I'll find those aplenty. I don't ever like feel like I gotta rush out and oh my god, I gotta get the new 4-pack because somebody, bro, like the stuff that people have been looking for, it's still sitting at my target. Like I mean, honestly, I here, I'll show you. Today, $7.50. Did I need it? No, but for $7.50, it's really cool character. He's been a lot of fun to pose. Like, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, with that costume, how can you not be attracted? No, totally. And I think
it's the purple. It's the purple, to be honest with you. Right? Like,
and I think what's fascinating, I talk a lot about on this channel, is there's definitely those that are sort of like at retail and they often will sit and go on sale. But then you're going to show after show after show and seeing all these other like brand new lines being like offered as like, hey, this is coming soon to Kickstarter, or we're launching soon. And you're seeing, as you mentioned, like all these indie toy lines, but also all these indie toy parts makers and soft goods makers along the way. So with that stuff, that's where I get in trouble, because it's I would say, see Derrick's rule about friends or people that you like respect. Like there's that definitely sometimes is a thing that I do. I was like, oh man, this is dope. They're doing cool stuff. I want to support. So I'll often do that. But then, but yeah, some of that stuff is not like it's not like I can easily get it all the time, because, they're not made in huge batches and all that. So that's cool. That's good to know. But you were telling me that what's behind you is just the tip of your toy iceberg.
Yeah. So about 70% of my collection is probably in storage, and I say probably in storage because it may be more than that I have in
storage.
Oh,
okay.
Like it may be more than 70%, but yeah, it's so, you know, like I got to be really particular in regards to what I put out on display. Now I got a lot of stuff that you could ask Sequoia, she would tell you, like, I've got stuff that I'm just like, I don't want this anymore. We used to do toy shows. Like every 6 months we would do a toy show. So like, that's kind of what I use to feed my habit, you know, like and then it is a plastic addiction. Like, I don't care who says what, like you fall in love with it. And for me, it's difficult because one, space, and two, because there is so much that's out there that I can't get it all. And I want to, you know, like I just found a Kickstarter last night that I want to support because they made Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird in vintage Ninja Turtle style.
Oh, and
And I want them because, I mean, you know, like in '88, I was 6 when that came
awesome.
out, you know, like that's one of my, like my hearts, man. You know, freaking Bebop and Rocksteady. I don't care. You can put it, you know, put those two on anything.
Your characters. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Any day of the week. Any day of the week.
I love it. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead then and talk a little bit about the stuff that we're going to look at. And how do I do this again? See, it's every time. We are first. Yeah, no, I mean, it's like, I know, but then like it doesn't. Oh, actually, let's the order of business. At the bottom, you're going to see a URL pop up, and right around there, bit.ly/bricksomethingnews. That'll take you to the links after the show. I'm a visual person. I need to see it. And I love the idea of trying to send people to go check out other people's social media, websites, etc. So, so it's all there if you want to follow along. In addition, there is like, if you're fancy, down by Derrick, there's that QR code. You can use that too. All right. So we're going to start with, let's see. Let's talk about, oh wait, did I just remove it? No, there you go. Oh, let's talk about the con that is sort of like sparking this conversation right at this moment that I've been talking about is like, hey, we're going to Legions Con. I've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. So folks should know about it. But if you're not familiar, November 9th through 10th is going to be the con proper. It's Four Horsemen Studios. If for some reason you're unfamiliar, they do a line called Mythic Legions. And as you see here, this is the 10th anniversary of Mythic Legions, so kind of a big deal this year. And on top of that, it's also 25 years of them as a toy studio. Again, if for some reason you're new to this information, they've been around. They've been doing toys, designing toys, sculpting toys for the likes of McFarlane Studios,
way back with Kenner.
Yep. So like they've been doing toys for a long time. Then they built their own studio and still continued to work for them. They launch a couple of different toy lines, but the longest running and current line is Mythic Legions. And so they built this whole world around it that we've been talking about. And now, they've had this convention. So every year, right around this time, it's usually around the same weekend. The Saturday and Sunday is the con proper. Vendors like yourself, and, all sorts of fans, customizers sharing their wares, showing their stuff, as well as the studio are there. The Friday before the con is when they reveal the next big Mythic Legions wave at a sort of special, like it's at the same venue, but they call it G-Con. And then the day before that, they open up the studio and kind of like an open house process, but you have to win a raffle for it. And it's called Intern for a Day. So people go and kind of check it out. And
you going to go do that?
Yeah, myself and my brother won ourselves spots in that. So we'll be doing that. So I'll be there for a couple of days. And then you guys are going to be that. It's not really. They're not making us do anything other than fall in love with their line and spread the word, which is kind of, I guess, what I'm doing right now. But you all are coming in when? Friday, is that what I heard?
I think we're coming in early as well. Because we got a date with Chubsy Wubsy, if I'm not mistaken.
Got it. So a local store there that you're going to drop by, a local retailer, brick and mortar retailer. And just to give folks a sense of what this is going to look like for you, you're all packing up a truck with a bunch of stuff.
Oh, no. Pallet ship, baby.
Okay, great. So
much easier that way. And if you caught any footage from our last con that we were at, we got new table setups. So not flexing, but kind of flexing. You know, we got new signs.
It.
So if you didn't get to see us on the back wall last year, you're gonna know we're there because you're gonna see the front and back side of our signs now, baby.
Love it. So this is gonna be us. So I will be there with you and Jason.
Baby. Yeah, man.
Sequoia gonna be there as well?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have most of the tribe there.
Okay.
Aside from, you know, of course, we won't have Dan or Arlen there. So
okay. So can you give us a sense of who else will be at the Spiro table other than the folks who I've already mentioned?
Just the core 5.
Okay. Yeah. And then Adam will be there from Highly Articulated. And so will be us, you know, right behind Kingpin and
Universe right there.
Yep. And so
it's gonna be so much fun. Oh my god. I told myself last year I wasn't gonna spend any money, and my wife said I'm not gonna say
how much did you walk away with having spent? $5? Good job. You did well. $5. My
wife is right here. We're not talking all that.
Well, here, maybe Sequoia can take some advice from Dorlax. And what else is there to spend money on? You can't take it with you.
True.
Yeah, you need any toy. That's just how it works. Here's a question for you. You ever just pick up where is it? Oh, it hopped on me. But basically, you ever picked up a random toy, you know, just for research or for science? Is that a thing that happens with you?
Yeah, actually, I did last year with the randomly at Ross. There was the Fortnite 4-inch little alien guy with his little UFO. Oh my god!
Nice.
Blue skin, looks like basically like Men in Black, but he's an alien. He's a blue skinned alien. I gave him a katana sword and a little pistol, and he became my travel buddy for the summer. I absolutely fell in love with it. I don't know. Nice. It's fun.
What's up, fan? Again. Okay, let's see. On that note, so the graveyard skeletons. I do want to like bring up some Legion stuff because it's weird. It's like, man, it's a big anniversary. Just the last couple of weeks have been filled with fun, new Mythic Legions adjacent or related toys. So we did the Figure Obscura, which I opened up last night, the Frankenstein's creature, and this thing is fantastic. That came out of, you know, nowhere. We knew that there'd be a Figure Obscura drop. We didn't know what it would be.
Nowhere.
Yep. And then this is like especially out of nowhere. It's they dropped this particular skeleton, this, you know, this figure, this mold in a slightly different colorway. It's like a little bit more on the goldish hueish side. As a Legion builder, it was really popular. And I didn't grab one, but they announced just this past week that from the 14th to the 31st of this month, they will have this special edition 4-pack set of that. They've kind of teased that there will be fun little accessories, nothing more than that. And we'll find out relatively soon, either on the 14th or there's some Wednesday live streams that they do. So maybe they'll tease those out. Those will be available at sorehorseman.com and the participating retailers.
Is this, forgive my ignorance, but this is the new one, I'm assuming, correct? Yep. Like the one that everybody's clamoring for?
It's the one that everyone was clamoring for. So they're like, okay, well, here's a way to get it, but slightly different colorway. It's very Halloween, as you can see. It's very like, it's on the cooler side, white gray versus more of the like stained, you know, the other one was a little bit more bleached too, but this is totally like that white gray. It feels to me very Halloween.
I got one coming to me. It's going to be my first Mythic Legion.
Oh, really?
A buddy of mine was kind enough to actually gift it to me.
Nice.
So having that, I may need, you know,
somebody
others for him to lead.
I've seen sort of folks playing with them. I will definitely have my lion's share of skeletons in this buck coming from the wave that should be on its way, but this is tempting. Gotta wait on price. What's that?
Oh, Lee Custom said it has pointing hands and a hinged jaw. It can point and laugh at things.
So yeah. So we'll see. This is looking cool, but just, you know, we're gonna be at Legions Con. There's gonna be a whole new armory experience. Like there's just all sorts of stuff happening with this toy line. So it's wild, and yeah, you can't just have one. Yes, this one is similar to the last one, but this one is light ashen gray. Fair enough. One of the funniest action figures I've gotten, says Lee Customs. Incredible for posing.
If you're not familiar with Lee Customs, my man does some fantastic stuff. I've bought a couple of his kits already. So if you've ever looked on my Instagram and you see like the Black Star custom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's all from him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is the Thundar as well?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He does a bunch of Kanokuman figures as well.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, muscle.
Yeah, so
Kanokuman.
There you go. There you go.
Love it. All right. So that's Horseman. So related, they built this world, Mythos, and I was kind of like sharing that we've been having this weird goblin escapades and drama. Other folks in the sort of toy tube community have been covering this and tracking it, and this was just sent to me right before the show. That's why I got kind of thrown off, because I'm just trying to like wrap my head around this. So this is Swig. He's been sort of on the run and being hunted. And just when we thought like, oh, he's being hunted down by these forces and these forces, like there are more people that are basically getting annoyed or pissed off by this guy. So now the freaking Red Star faction, like they're basically like they're assassins. Like now they are hunting him. So you can see here from the monthly Mythos news, the only reliable Legion's news. Swig will be tough to catch. He has super goblin power and the strength of 10 men. Yeah, the deal is this guy also has the ability to create doppelgangers, essentially, or multiple versions of him, up to 1,000, I'm hearing. So now the Red Star faction is looking for him and hunting him down. And as you can see, it's not alive is not really an option for these guys. So it's been causing all sorts of drama. And, I said, hey, like, where do I stand on this? I don't really like to get involved when it comes to the whole toy thing. I just, but I don't know. So I don't know if you've been following this at all. But there's also like, there's this maybe connection to what Animal Warriors of the Kingdom's going on. Are you familiar with Mephitor? There's a skunk-like little was it Swale Goblin, I think is what it's called. That's this guy down here. And so like they say he's humiliated them by attacking their supply lines and collaborating with this guy on new body spray. So he's a skunk, right? And he's got this
body spray. Fun.
Yeah. And so this is where I'm struggling, because as you know, I'm very much in love with the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom line. And so you've got potentially this guy Swig working with Mephitor. And so I've got it on, I've got some sort of photographic evidence that like some of our favorite guys have been hanging out with Mephitor as well, and presumably allied with Swig. And so that's where I'm like, as much as I stand with Pale, like this character Blight, like I kind of feel bad for him. Like I understand.
Yeah, he's really stinking it up.
Yeah. So like, and so now I'm seeing him kind of like getting involved in this whole Swig thing, hanging out. Like he's clearly become like this acolyte or like homie of Mephitor here, which by the way, I think he looks great in this.
Yeah, I actually need that to happen now.
Yeah. But
Jason.
So yeah, again, I think officially I'm sorry this is awkward, but man, you know what? I think I'm just gonna have to like take a stand. So I think I'll do it. I'll get off the fence, man. I think we do need to save our Swig. I'm not forcing you in this. I'm sorry if I'm like somehow like dragging you into this. This is just me. Derrick is here, but this is just me, Brick something, saying, you know what, I think we gotta save our Swig. I know that not everybody's necessarily going to be into this. Okay. But if you are, one way that we can maybe help out is to throw off the authorities or the assassins or whoever else is going after our boy Swig by maybe putting out some red herrings and some distractions. If we could bring a bunch of our Swigs to Legion's Con in November, that would be amazing. So there is an effort led by, I know Terrence has been really a part of this, and not led by, there's a collaboration of folks, but Terrence has definitely been up in the mix of trying to organize folks to bring a bunch of swigs to Legions Con to kind of throw folks off the scent, if you will. I will be bringing, thank you very much. I will be bringing a swig. I know others will be bringing their
You're making me
swigs.
thirsty.
Yeah, like that's a different thing. You don't want to drink anything that never drink anything in the presence of swig. Just trust me on that. But so here's the deal. Folks are going to be bringing them. There is a sign-up form, which I'm totally not prepared for, Terrence. But if you could send me the link, I will drop the link in the chat for people to pre-register that they will be bringing in a swig. Here's Kirby, also one of these co-conspirators to help save our swig. So yes, way bigger. AWOK and Mythic Legions crossover, way bigger than Amalgam. So
that was a good crossover, though.
Yes. So here, I'll end with that. There's going to be people are going to be bringing figs, but if for some reason you can't bring figs, there will be other options at the con for you to maybe draw or create a 2-dimensional swig, because apparently swig has the ability to flatten himself. And then so there'll be options. Check it out. Adam here, highly articulated, will be receiving a swig doppelganger there as well. So yeah,
I saw someone did this really radical chameleon swig. I think it might have been on Terrence's page. I'm not sure, but obviously not knowing, what was not being in the know. I didn't really know what was going on. I just thought it was a really cool looking character. 1,000.
So here we are looking. So this is the sign up form, and I'll drop that in the chat, and I'll put that in the links after for folks to access. But if you're like, hey, I'm going to be bringing one, it'd be great if you were able to do that, so the folks who are organizing this know who to sort of involve and credit and all of that kind of thing. So check it out. But yeah, I feel like it's time for me to take a stand and do my part. So there you go, folks. And yeah, down with the man, down with the assassins. Let swig be. That said, let's get back off the whole political issue stuff. Let's get back to
reality.
Yeah, back to reality. Hey, so Spiro's gonna be there. SpiroToys.com. This is the stuff. These figures are available now. And then, sorry, I'm pointing at Wave 1, Series 2, Wave 1. Wave 1. I know it's confusing. Go with it. Oh no, sorry. Pivot. This is available now. This is available now. This is available now. And by Legions Con. By Legions Con.
God willing. I mean, we know something about this the strike.
Yeah, the strike is effectively has effectively ended. So
praise the Lord.
All parties involved reached a tentative agreement at the end of the week last week, and even though rank and file port workers have not voted yet to approve the tentatively agreed upon new contract and agreement, the leadership has agreed that given the TA, folks could return to work, and they returned to work as of last Friday. So things are moving again. We know that I put this in the Kickstarter update on Wednesday, that there was a potential pause because of the strike. It's been sitting in customs. Hopefully that gets processed soon. You all get the figures, or I guess Fulfill Right gets the figures, right?
Well, we're going to have, to my knowledge, unless something has changed, we obviously will have a batch sent to us for us to be able to bring with us doing shows. Right. Now, regarding pre-orders, that's all going to be handled through Fulfill Right. So if you come to see us at a show and we got the figures, you're going to have to take it up with Fulfill Right.
There you go.
Because usually, if you place an order with us, it's like, hey, I ordered such and such and I got this instead. It'd just be easy peasy, be like, here, we can go ahead and swap it out. But if you've pre-ordered something and there's an issue on that end, to my knowledge, and I mean, I could be spitting something completely incorrect, and Adam's going to be like, Derrick, shut
Well,
the
I was gonna say, I love how you said.
Talking about.
I love how you said, "Oh yeah, easy peasy." You come to us, and I was like, "Oh, is it easy peasy though?" But
well,
yes.
I mean, if Jason was there, it was super easy. It was just like, oh, I'm sorry, here you go, just take this.
Yeah. Anyways, that aside, so at the table at Legion's Con, there will still be plenty. Well, there's not plenty. There will still be Wave 1 figures, Wave 2, Wave 3, and then potentially, we're hoping. I think it's highly likely that by then we're a ways out, that you at least will have the things in your hand and can have them at Legion's Con. Hoping.
From what Jason told me today, we're like that's what we're expecting. But
good. And then as far as these guys go, these are all the stuff from the first wave of Kickstarter figures. So these, as well as Wave 2 and forward on all those Kickstarter figures, are a little bit unknown as far in terms of like what representation they'll have at the table, because paint masters, sometimes they're here, then they need to move on to the next process. So Jason wasn't quite sure what exactly we'll have, but he's hoping to have something on display reflecting some of the Kickstarter figures. He just wasn't sure what.
So let's see, because I'm reading over what was sent to me so that I can make sure that I don't tell you anything incorrect.
Sure.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we're gonna have some check models from Series 2.
Okay.
Over at the AWOK table.
Great.
Now, check models are freaking cool. I know that you and Adam have gone over them before, so I won't bore people with it. But
no, go really, for it.
Really, so if you got you a visual. It's obviously it's not a finished product, but it's what. There you go. Boom. I knew you were on top of it.
Yep. Go for it. What were you about to say?
So I mean, this is essentially what I was about to say. We're gonna have this at the booth. Won't be able to come up and pose it out or anything like that. It's not going to be a finished toy, but it's basically this is what the factory is going to be using, to make our figures.
Okay. So there you go. And then it sounds like there might be some arguing behind the table in terms of who gets to take them home, because if the last stream was any indication with Adam earlier, he's got his eyes on these. So
those aren't going home with anybody.
Yeah.
We'll fight Adam, I swear.
So I brought this up because and then the other thing is, as far as like paint masters, again, we don't know what we'll see. Yeah, but as far as paint masters, if you're curious, there are a couple of them on the Kickstarter page. So if you go to the updates, that's the best place to see. Like, we've shown the Brutox there. I'm just going to go over them real quick. Not going to go over everything. There's Boone and some of the birds. So if you were looking at that, I'm, again, not totally sure what exactly will be coming to the con, if any other paint masters, but he said he was going to try, and if we have anything, we will be showing them. So that's all I wanted to say about that. More importantly,
boom, there it is.
You all, Spiro Toys, are not only going to be about the animals. Pretty shortly, folks are going to be hearing a lot more about this new line, which is Bushido. What can you tell the folks about Bushido?
So this is Dan's passion project. You may know him by Death Metal Dan on Instagram.
This will be him.
This is his baby.
Yep.
Initially, from what we were gonna do, there was only going to be 2 figures per wave. Well, we're now going to be doing 4. So yeah, I guess there are 2 good guys, 2 bad guys, and the Oni, to my knowledge, are going to be bigger than the humans, and you're going to be getting quite a bit of versatility behind the heads there. Jason said that there's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be modular where you'll take the helmet off, but like you'll have a masked face, an unmasked face, the helmeted head, unmasked helmeted head, yeah. So, and then so I was telling Brick before we went on, Jason, as he's been going through the process, has been sending me basically like layers, if you will, behind his painting scheme. For those of you that think that Jason does a great job of painting, you're right, he does. But if you really only knew the amount of time, I mean, like, seriously, like, he's going through, and I've seen step by step, and just you slowly see everything gradually piling onto it, and one, like, I mean, seeing the whole pieces of the puzzle come together. Like, this right here, I don't know if I'm ready for this, let alone everyone else, because it's going to be the same quality that you've come to expect from us already, just with this. I mean, Jason's having a lot of fun painting them, and that's always been my biggest thing. Like, as an, with artists, if you find something that they're passionate about, they usually put a lot more of themselves into it. So, the end result usually, like when I go to my tattoo artist and I give him, creative control, I give him the idea and I just go, hey, you do what you want to do. He's more enthusiastic about that,
Right.
So same with Jason, like from what he told me, Dan sent him, like the mock-ups of what he wants. Spiro already has Sculpture. I mean, yeah. So that was the one thing that I will say I was kind of disappointed in. Now, this line is all going to be modular in itself, meaning that you'll be able to swap, between the Bushido characters and stuff like that, which is super cool. But it's not going to be modular with our stuff, which was something that I was really hoping for, because how cool would it be to have, a Bushido, pale or something? I don't know.
Sure. Right. And just to be clear, when we say our stuff, you're talking, so Animal Warriors of the Kingdom and Bushido are actually both Spiro. Yeah, these are both in-house brands. This is basically the second, technically third line, if you realize that Animal Warriors of the Kingdom had a previous life in a different form. So this is the new line from Spiro Toys, which is really awesome. And yeah, I hear you on like, yeah, I would love to see some interchangeability, but still, like, this is its own thing and it looks amazing. Obviously, like, yeah, you're absolutely right. When artists are passionate about a thing, they spend more time, they want to get it right. And that's Jason too with AWOK.
This being Dan's like passion project, I mean, like I can understand the desire to be able to get more of what he's wanting out there, and us being a means to make that happen. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
So as far as what is going to, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but as far as what we're going to see on at Legion's Con, will we, because I'm looking at these renders, the sculpt, this is all digital renders, folks. Like, they look fantastic.
Did I not
you're mentioning like Jason's painting, man. Like, I look at this stuff here, that looks so good.
Did I not send you one of this painted?
I don't know. I just wish I could see it in like color, because this is all like the
hold on,
the stuff, right?
I thought I sent it over to you.
But then like, wait. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I didn't mean to throw you off. Yeah, no, you absolutely did. So this is, what am I looking at here? What are we looking at here?
Man, I wish I could give you a name. I'm looking at the same thing you're looking at. Awesomeness. So, and when I say layers, if you look at how, like the application of the armor is, so like, like down to the scales and stuff on there, like he's gone through it and like step by step as he's painted through all of that, just shown me like each phase. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The detail that's gone into this one, are these going to, no. Okay. So Nolan, there is not going to be a Kickstarter. So to speak to that,
go for it.
I think all 4 figures are going to be available for pre-order a week before Legion's Con. So Jason's been painting his little butt off. I think we should have these 4 painted models at least there for you to see.
Okay. And of course on social media and all of those things.
Yeah. Please,
this is not going to be a Kickstarter. This is going to be a direct pre-order through Spiro. And you're saying the week before Legion's,
it's going to go up coming up before we actually go to Legion's. So soon, really soon.
Wow. And so you're speaking to going in with like each layer of paint, coming back and hitting all those little dark details there, and whoo. Yeah, this looks like a premium
Brian,
figure.
No, seriously, the layers of paint that Jason's had to put in, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he's not, and this isn't even finished. Like, that's still, I mean, obviously that's still unfinished product.
Yeah, I didn't know that these were going to be shown today, so I was really happy and surprised to see that. What's up, E. McNeil? Bushido's a must-have. Can't wait to see how these develop.
I'm excited for the Oni. I've not seen anything on the Oni, and I think that like that's probably
And I'm sorry to disappoint.
Yeah,
Ray.
This is the only thing that
Jason's
shown me. Like, so I don't even know.
So keep an eye out. Legion's Con is going to have, like, obviously 4 Horsemen are going to be doing their thing, but the vendors like Spiro are going to be revealing a bunch of stuff. But actually, so this is like an in-house deal. Dan is a Spiro team member, and he's releasing these through Spiro.
Right.
Arlen Pelletier, who also sculpts and does work for Spiro, has also kind of had his brainchild. And then his brother, is it Ari, right? Are working on a project. Is it Ira? Sorry. And I believe what's his name? Adam Drake, I believe, of Highly Articulated. My understanding is that, those 3 are working together on something new that is not a Spiro Toys project, but because there's some like indie fun, happening, and some lots of collaboration, different talented people getting together. They're going to be doing this together, and my understanding is this is going to be at our table, right?
It is. Yeah, Space Zombies.
Nice.
I'm not bragging, because I wasn't really aware of this. So one of the best things about being able to go over to Jason's house is a lot of times he'll have really cool things just laying around, and I'll go, "Oh man, what's that?" And he'll go, "It's such and such. If you like it, you can have it." So I have an early painted prototype.
No way.
From this. That I'm super excited, because when I found out that it was Arlen, it was like he had told me that it was something that Arlen was working on, and then when we finally got to actually see product at N.E.W.S, and I was like, oh my god, Arlen, this is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I'm a sucker for zombies. So anyway, and then I told him, I was like, I got one of the early like painted prototypes at the house, and he's like, oh, that's cool. How'd you get that? I was like, I got it from Jason.
So this stuff is looking really cool too. This is all stuff that Arlen's been taking around elsewhere, but it's kind of neat to know that, like, again, this is a not a Spiro Toys project, but because it's all in the family, they're going to be taking some space at the Spiro table at Legion's Con to show off their wares, talk to people about it, raise some awareness, and so congrats to those folks doing it. Here's Adam, and he's like, let's talk about that Bushido stuff. But no, absolutely, that line's going to be amazing, as well as the line that he is working on with Arlen and Ira. So I think that's really cool. So I love I absolutely love some of what's going on with these figures. This, how do I get back to it?
Arlen, he's so creative.
Yeah.
And just, if you ever get the opportunity to meet him, he is an absolute sweetheart. Him and his brother are just 2 of the nicest people. When we had our 14-hour airport wait while Jason and my wife somehow managed to fall asleep, I saw both Ira and Arlen just chilling. So I was like, well, I'm going to go visit with some people that I think are really cool.
Look at that. That logo, too, just conjures up so much awesome nostalgia. So it's fun. I mean, so I'm excited what little Adam has shared publicly sort of about the potential like complexity and there being more to the story has been really exciting. Unfortunately, Arlen will not be at Legion's Con, so bug Adam for all the information, and because he's going to be ready, I'm sure.
It's tell cool for Arlen to be able to get over. I think he said next year he's going to be at Joe Fest again. So
okay,
but don't hold me to that. I could be blowing smoke. I don't like to tell people lies.
So that's the Spiro Toys like table. So Spiro Toys / the Space Zombies from Mars. It's going to be really cool, and it just speaks to what I was talking about with Emil Vickman last week about sort of how 4 Horsemen have kind of not only built this like huge indie toy like little world of their own with Mythic Legions and Cosmic Legions and Figure Obscura, but they've invited a lot of other folks along with the ride, whether that's their fans creating custom parts for their lines, but also like, hey, Spiro, table here. Hey, Brutal Realm, table here. Hey, Creative Beasts, and so on. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk. That's what today's about, since these are folks that you hang out with. But before we talk about those other folks, I know it's Spiro. It's like, and with AWOK, I know you're having fun with these, and they make really cool characters. But I know that you've been having fun with your AWOK, and kind of making up all sorts of fun stuff. And that's the thing that I would love to see even more than I'm already seeing it with. Like, I look at what the Horsemen have been able to build up with this sort of like community that wants to take these toys and do their own thing to it, and make art themselves, right? They're so inspired by what the Horsemen are doing. They want to do this. So, and we see that, like, it's totally there for AWOK, folks like yourself. So we're looking at one of your fun little customs here. And tell us about what's going on with this and what you're sort of noticing when it comes to customizers and AWOK.
Well, so real quick, I will go ahead and say this line here for me, like, it's you had asked earlier, in regards to like collecting.
Right.
This line specifically, like, got me back into playing with my toys as an adult. Like, I referred to myself as a vanilla collector, meaning that, like, I get home, I'd open it out of the package, I'd probably find some pose that I wanted to put it in, and it would just go on the shelf like that. With AWOK, I find myself, actually wanting to create, other fun things, like throwing soft goods on. Like this here, this was because Jason got in a lot of wrestling clothes.
Yeah.
And I went over and he was like, hey, here's a bag of stuff. Like, a lot of it's real ill-fitting, or, I couldn't think of anything to do with it. And I got home, I had an extra feral beastie just sitting around, and I was like, man, this little unitard thing gives me like old school Kirby vibes. And I don't know, I want to do something with it. So like when I say, like, it is a very tight fit, like, I forced it on there, threw on this horribly sewn together cape. Exactly, right? The banana, gave him a banana, tossed in.
I'm like, which banana? Because as you say, that thing is very tight fitting. Oh. But yes.
The one in his hand.
Okay, got it.
Gave him some gold bracers, and then there you go. But so this line has just helped me to, like, want to come up with something more, something fun.
That's awesome. And you're obviously not alone. You see Brian down here saying the same thing. I think is what you're getting at. Like, it's bringing out this creative side, and when you get to, like, you're playing with your toys and kind of making stuff.
Brian and I actually got to walk around at this last con a little bit, and we both happened to stumble upon this Mego G.I. Joe 2-pack of Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you don't know and you like the Mego stuff, or I should say, if you have any of it, or even any of the, like, the WWE superstars, the clothing from those fit quite well on the AWOK figures. I know this because the photos that were shown for, like, the AWOK Wednesday a while back, with all of the apes, and then you had the cats and stuff all posted up on the Wall XD display. Those are predominantly all WWE superstars.
Yep.
Like, and just adding the soft goods, just that little bit, made him that much more fun. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, no, I was trying to find what you're talking. Oh, and see, now I'm spoiling it. These were the ones that you're talking about, right? So the clothes, yeah.
Yeah, so that jacket is actually a Mego jacket from a $5 Frankenstein's Monster Mego.
It's actually a really good looking overcoat, trench coat.
Look, for $5, I was like, man, you can't pass up cloth goods for $5. And I mean, it
peacoat. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it looks solid. Yeah, I had some fun with actually with this creature's clothes and putting them on AWOK figures and vice versa yesterday too. No, absolutely. And that's what I wanted to, I'm kind of jumping ahead, but on the table, in addition to the cool stuff that we have, I want to kind of like encourage and display some of this, especially in that Legions crowd, because there's a lot of customizers, right? Like, that's what people do. I want them to get a sense of like, hey, this is what you could potentially be doing with both either these figures or even using some of the armor on maybe some of the Legion stuff or Masterverse or whatever else, right? So I love that you all have been showcasing this, especially in the last couple of weeks with the sales on the sort of like basic, the ancients, but I'm trying to but basically the naked apes, if you will, the naked animals, super basic, like they're really the most affordable AWOK figures available, but you can then get them and either buy Spiro accessories packs or do something like this. So I'm hoping that folks follow your lead, and what Brian's saying as well, that hey,
there are people out there that are doing it way better than me. Way
fair
better
enough.
Than me. I'm just having some fun. There are people. So last year, that was actually something that we did. We ended up sending out, I want to say, to 7 different customizers, actual ancients, along with, I want to say, a loot crate for them to go through and paint them however they want to end up doing them. And they displayed them at Legions Con last year to be able to give people an idea. One of the biggest things that I'm really wanting to try and push for, though, Brick, if I'm being honest with you, is because I told you this earlier, for me, I really love the whole idea of, toy community. I love doing cons and seeing familiar people, and, I love seeing familiar faces and everything. And so what I want to do is I want to continue to try and build that culture around Spiro, so anytime that you see us at a con, we're going to end up picking out a specific day, but it's going to be a gather the tribe, so to speak, where it's all of AWOK Nation, we'll all get together. Yeah. Don't be showing off too much with that eye patch there.
You called that out. I was talking about this because Nolan has a question for you about that.
That gun there?
Pew pew.
So that's a Damien D. Blake makes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if you ever come in contact, my man's got pew-pews to fit the AWOK scale. He's got pew-pews to fit your Marvel Legends. But all right, so back to gathering the tribe.
Sorry, yep.
I really want to be able to try and continue to build that community. So, if you do a custom, please tag Spiro, tag me.
Yes.
I love seeing that because I've seen people do
him.
stuff that has inspired me to do stuff. Like Brian told me earlier that I inspired him to do some custom. If I ever put something up and you want to see, or you want to know the recipe, so to speak, on how to throw it together, I will tell you everything. Because I'll talk to you about whatever toy you want to talk about. For as long as you want to talk about it, so long as you don't mind hearing me talk.
I love it. And I love you're highlighting that to give people that sense. And I know you're also having fun too. It's not like this is just work.
Sorry. In regards to gathering the tribe.
Yeah. Oh yes. Sorry.
I want to be able to get everyone there because this is what I saw from the, because this last Kickstarter was the first time that I'd ever been able to be a part of something like this. And to see the community's support. I mean, because, the whole series of toys wouldn't be coming. I mean, they would be, but they wouldn't be coming nearly as early as they are had it not been for the community. Right.
Yep.
So with that, look at Scathing. What other toy company do you know that 2 people that kept talking about how, what would make that figure really cool if you were to do a skull face with it? I think initially the idea was a mask, but the fact that the constant input, we're now able to make that a reality. And even though they don't work for the company, they can always say, I had a hand in that. People were saying we needed more expressive faces. We needed pinless joints. It's nice to be in an indie toy company to be able to get that feedback and immediately, our next series of figures, we've already implemented said changes, soft goods, new washes, expressive faces, new weapons. I mean, and this is only the tip of the iceberg. If you're not reading the comic, I know everybody keeps beating that, that horse, but if you want to know what animals are coming, everybody's like, oh, you need to do such and such. Read the comic.
Yeah, read the comic. It's there.
Not only is it a great story, it is very compelling story, but it also kind of gives you an insight into what other characters or animals, I should say, we're going to create. I absolutely love it. And the creativity behind the line itself. When I read the comic and I got my first figure, my wife comes home, I put it in her hands and I go, here, check this out. I gave her a pail. I told her, I said, pose it, you know. So she's sitting there messing around with it, and she's like, "Oh, this feels good. You know, the quality feels nice." I give her a Marvel Legend, and she's like, "I don't know. I like that one better." It's like, yeah, it's because it's a better quality product. I mean, I put Pale in a pose, walked away, and he was still in that pose.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that is my experience. If you get these figures in hand, they are great toys. But to your point earlier about, hey, what other toy line's gonna like take folks' ideas and actually make it possible? So you're referencing this figure who, during the life of the Kickstarter campaign, there are 3 different people who were like, hey, what about this? What about a bone mask, a skull mask? And this is where we landed. And so I think that spirit is very much in line with, at least from my read, in terms of like what Legions has done. And I think it's definitely carries through in what Spiro continues to do and what you do in particular, and trying to like build up things in the face group, like Clock This stuff, your help with the AWOK photo collab, really trying to get that going.
Man, that's really a lot of Brian, to be honest with you. That's
right.
Really
it is. Yeah.
But I want to reiterate that the reason why I was saying all that in regards to like the creativity behind the line is that we want your input. Yeah. Obviously, you know, like we want you to, like, the reason why we want to do like a gathering the tribe or what have you, like tribal life forever, you know, AWOK for life, baby. Like we want people to want to come and take a big group photo with us, you know, either like we'll pick a day, we'll make sure that everyone knows, but trust me, like, as our fans, the only way that Spiro, not just AWOK, will continue to grow is if we continue to build upon that and continue to nurture that relationship and that creativity behind our fans. I mean, because people are doing some really cool stuff. This is this is nothing, but thank you.
No, this is this is his stuff of just playing with it and creating some familiar ninja commandos. But so this is from Amigo set, and you took the clothes and kind of made it work for.
I had to make a couple modifications. Obviously, you know, like you can't do the boots, and he's technically it's supposed to be like a onesie, but I had to snip the little booties, you know. He's supposed to have sleeves, but I had to like, I didn't want to lose the forearm pieces, so I had to like snip the inside of the material to get that, which sucked because on the bicep of the other arm is the Arishkage symbol, so you lose that. But the vest is a Velcroed overlay. Like it just, when looking at all of the accessories, I was just like, yeah, I got to do it. And in the Vero, I'm not gonna lie to you, I really hated using that Vero for a custom. We've got less than 80 of Vero Atlas. So like, if you don't have one, or you want an extra one, if the only way you're going to be able to get it is if you see us, like, because once they're gone, that's it. Oh, also real quick, if anybody likes the little posters and stuff that you see there,
I was going to say, I was going to call those out. Yeah. You're seeing in the back, the prop.
Crap out of Jason. He made those.
Yeah, it's cool. You've got the Wanted Alive here. You've got
this one right here. Yeah. That one. So I have had that for probably, I don't know, say 6 months or so. Just was holding on to it. It was like set up in my AWOK display behind me. Had no idea what I was going to do with it. And then the wall came together.
I think these are great. And I'll talk to you offline about some ideas for that. And then this little resisting Kali and the Horde. I love it, man. So these are fun. And, it's just playing with your toys, having some fun. These things are not, they're not as precious as you think. They were designed to play. So you've got a couple more shots, as more recent shots of these guys. But as you say, there are other folks doing things. So this is the soft goods option, right? Then you've got, this is a thing that I've shared before, so I'll just quickly show it. My brothers gifted me this, and I was like, I was blown away. Like, I know the sculpts are solid, but when you see the wash treatment on these, it really just kind of highlights so much of that awesome work.
Yeah, if you wanted to have more of a realistic appeal to it, like, you can definitely do that. I mean, obviously with the wash.
Yeah, and I say that because it's exactly the point, because I hear people say like, oh, these are really cartoony. I was like, well, they're not. I mean, the sculpts are not. The sculpts are there.
Yeah, it's there.
It's just, it's a chosen aesthetic based on where they're at and, price point and all those other things. But you could take it to a different place like this, right? And I think there's other folks as well. Like, you've shared some, let's see, where some, like, I love some of these that you shared. So oops, I'm not in the right window anymore. But I'll get there. I think. Yeah, here you go.
Oh, that's one of my early ones.
But here's like, again, customizing just different parts from other toy lines, right? Can you tell the folks where you got some of these stuff?
Masters of the Universe, Masterverse in there, G.I. Joe Classified in there, and some Marvel Legends in there. I wanted the Gorilla Warrior, man. So, you know.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. Yeah, this is you said this was a Masterverse, right?
Yeah.
The arm piece. Yeah.
That's from Man at Arms.
Mm-hmm.
This little shoulder pauldron.
It's really fun. And then I like this because it's like, if you've got the other toys, and I do want to share this. So you mentioned like at Legion's Con wanting to build a tribe, everyone come through. There'll be a time when we'll just come through, take a picture. But also just, hey, come through, introduce yourself. If you're online only, introduce yourself to Derrick so that he has your information. And like, if you're doing custom, send it to him. We'll find a way to kind of highlight it and let folks know. What do you got going on with this one?
So the one to the left there, the little Atreus, like I guess personal guardsman, all that is just the head swap from the feline pack with the Fairless loot crate on. Now the Atreyu, what is that? The Fallen Shazam.
Oh, got it.
I just cut the excess portion of the cape, and I tried to leave it to where it actually looked like he had the harness on. Now that one there, I'm not gonna lie to you, that was probably the most difficult to do because you had to oil and pop the arms.
Yeah, let's look at that.
But it looks really, I mean, like it looks like an actual mane.
That looks really good.
I don't think I have a picture of like the backside, but like the dark brown matches quite well with the dark brown on the back of Atreyu's head.
And then if you're maybe not that adventurous, like you said, the stuff that Spiro does have, like these accessory packs, right? The armor packs. Or is this? Yeah. What's going on here?
What's going on there? Yeah, so that's a half-naked Tiberius. That is a Fairless body.
I just realized, yeah, he doesn't have his armor on.
No, arm swap, head swap, and then Jason just did we did a foot swap, and then Jason did a little white airbrushing for me at the bottom there, so it actually would work.
That's cool.
I wanted a Tiberius that it wasn't necessarily armored up, you know, like
I love that you got a custom by Jason to paint it. Like that's awesome.
He likes the idea.
Yeah. If you can convince him on the idea, he'll hook you up. I think it's really cool. And then this guy I really love.
Oh, thanks, man.
Talk about this. I remember seeing this a while back, but like, talk about where that arm came from and everything.
So this here is off of the Belarus body from the deluxe line. Yo, Rocco! Man, I watch all of my man's videos. I get such a kick out of them. I love it. I learned some really awesome Instagram tips on how to get everyone to chime in and watch your videos. Thanks, Rocco. So no, this one here, man. I was not the first one to come up with this. Someone did this on another.
Yeah, I'd seen that.
But we had someone. Has it been a year and a half now? Anyway, sometime back, somebody sent in a damaged Cordoon. And I asked Jason if I could have it. And he was like, yeah. So I went home, did a little boil and pop, put that Belarus arm in there. It works perfectly. Yeah, I don't know, man. So the eye patch, if you will, that's twine that they use to hold your G.I. Joe Classified in the box.
Oops.
All I did was I just unraveled it a little bit, added some water to help it to kind of like mold. Like that was it, man.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun stuff. So this is using if that didn't make sense, like that was the original Animal Warriors of the Kingdom line that popped up there for a second. So this is an old figure, Belarus, who had the robotic arm, took that, popped it off, threw it on here. And as you say, yeah, I remember seeing somebody else put this on I think it was on a Facebook group.
So I ended up with a total of 3 of these because I was really flattered, man. We did a show and Dan Larson actually picked it up and was going on about how cool he thought it was.
Yeah.
At 2 different shows. So
that's awesome.
When we leave, it was after Legion's Con. We get home and I tell Jason, I go, look, man, he picked it up twice at 2 different shows. Right. Can I make him one? And he was like, yeah. That's fine. Totally do that. So when you guys ended up doing the Kickstarter and he actually holds it up, the fact that he still had it, fanboy inside me just starts.
That's awesome.
It's like he still has it. And so the other one I gifted to Timothy Peake of Savage Crucible because he was actually the first one who encouraged me to make another one because he liked it so much. It was just really flattering. I'd never had anybody to like, because to me it was simple, like there wasn't a whole lot involved, but he's one of my favorite characters. His name is Chandler.
Love it. Yeah, man. And so I would love to Tiffany's point earlier. She was asking like, hey, could you all sort of show us how to do some of that at Legion's Con? And yeah, if folks come through, we could show you how to pop. It depends on what you're talking about, because I think
no.
Yeah.
So this year, sorry, Brick. Jason, I can teach you, Tiffany, but Jason hates when I show people my way.
Yes, because.
But Lola, in my defense, I have yet, and I mean yet, to have a single figure to break on me the way that I do. So I can teach you, but if you break it, it's because you messed up, not because I didn't teach you right.
Yeah, this wouldn't be officially sanctioned. But no, at the end of the day, when you're customizing and you're getting to that place, you got to recognize that there are some hazards of the game. So
if you ever break anything, though, we do up to a degree. Like we do have a nice little warranty. So
cool. So I just wanted to go ahead and show a couple of some fun things that I've sort of seen online. This is from over on Reddit from, Play Throne and Liberty. I thought this was fun. Again, just kind of like figuring out ways to bring their AWOK figures to.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I want that.
I think it's pretty cool. There's some stuff over here, where people have down.
Oh, what?
This is Toys with Attitudes over on TikTok.
Yeah, I did find out again, that Europe has purple undies.
Just you discovered that when you took them apart. Yeah. Just to highlight again what I think you're trying to show people too is like, hey, what you can do with this stuff, and this is all stuff that Spiro sells. And to me, I just I love the posing. So hey, Luffy.
When Jason brought me on, and the one of my first posts that I'd ended up doing where I actually tagged the store and everything, all I get was a text message from him going, "Tell me you tell me you worked in retail for 20 years without actually telling me that you've been in retail for 20 years." It's like, this is perfect, man. Thank you. It's like,
yeah.
I just went with what tools were given. This is fantastic too, man. Like, golly.
Yeah, this is Tor Nerd. He's got a couple of really cool, both customs and photos. Working on other lines, like you mentioned, like earlier, in terms of how you buy toys. This is how I buy toys. Like, oh, that looks cool. These could work together. This is a D20 Wolf, and an AWOK figure. So, and people just doing it says like Pauldron and Shield are Mythic Legions. The cape is N.E.W.S Black Series, and the eye patch made from modeling tape and paint. So nice. Love that. Again, the possibilities more from Tor Nerd. Cool little adventure. This is straight up some D&D stuff. I think it looks great. You got your Mythic Legions bow in there. Or,
it looks like they added a little smokiness to the eyebrows there.
Oh yeah. Give it, age it up a little bit.
A little
and you
rough.
Kind of see the figure a little bit more there.
That's awesome. Yeah. I wish I had the space for a Dio. I do have a really nice yard to go and take photos in. It's just I have to contend with 3 German Shepherds. So
German Shepherds. You got your own little animal warrior warriors of the kingdom.
It is a bit of a war sometimes. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, So let's move on from Spiro because I've already been plenty of. I'm assuming that's sarcasm. I've already been accused of plenty shilling. I spent my day today talking a lot of AWOK chalk. Let's go ahead and shift a little to some of the other folks that are going to be there. Formo Toys. Are you? Is this?
Yeah, man.
That you've run into on the road, right?
I got a couple of these. The two in the middle there, actually.
These guys, the hero, main protagonist, and villain.
Barbaro.
And
like a nice barbarian dude. And I don't know. You get me with the the scar on the face, the cool cloak, the white hair. All right. They're really awesome. And then the fact that you buy all of them and then you can build the one. I love it.
That's
it's
my
just
favorite.
For me, it's the space.
Yeah. But they're going to be there. Again, we don't all have to buy everything, but I appreciate these things, and I know that people are super into them. And just on the sort of, well, first off, let's just look at what they have. So this is Wave 1. This is Formo Toys. For those of you who are unfamiliar, it started off as a very, if you can't tell, very much inspired by vintage 5.5-inch Masters of the Universe. And they've and obviously other things. I think this is straight up like some Jack Kirby, Celestials.
Yeah, it definitely looks like an Eternal.
Yeah, or the Zelazny, not Chariot of the Gods. I forgot the Roger Zelazny book. Lord of Light. Sorry, his designs for that fake movie. Sorry, there's a lot of nerd stuff there, but yes, I love it. Okay, that said. Here's their new stuff, their Wave 2 stuff. Again, totally channeling Roger Zelazny, Lords of Light, Jack Kirby's production art for a fake film for a CIA cover project. So I'll just throw that out there.
The big dragon?
So yes, this is the Wave 2 is called Dragon Hunt. And it has these awesome characters, these folks. So there's not just Mythic Legions and Spiro, obviously. Going to be at I love this head at Legions Con, but these folks will be there as well, and you can kind of see the variety of toys. The dragon, so it can't be this dragon hunt without a dragon. So this is Ignitor. So this is maybe the closest to news I can offer after the 4-pack of skeletons and the status of Wave 4 AWOK at the port. But so this guy has been up for a little bit, has been on pre-order for a little bit, and they did give some updates, right? You can see here the factory sent us photos of the final painted test shot. That's this one. So this is like essentially what people will have in hand. So it's moving along as is not uncommon of indie toys and toys in general. Sometimes delays happen, so it's not as fast as maybe they initially wanted, but it's coming, and it's cool. It's a dragon at Legions Con. So I know a lot of, I don't know if you're familiar with this amongst the Mythic Legions community, but they've always been clamoring for the Horseman to make a dragon. And there's sort of like this ongoing, well, dragon confirmed, we're going to get it this year. And people are thinking it's the big anniversary year. But the good news is there will definitely be this dragon at, or at least a representation of it. So
you can use him as a mount?
Or you can use him as both. He can be a character, a humanoid character, or
how he feels about that
as a mount for these figures. Maybe he's just happy to help.
I don't know, man. Get off my back.
Here's the packaging, which I think, man, this stuff brings me like right in. This is the stuff of my childhood for sure. Just like classical toys. There's a little bit of Frazetta and Vallejo going on in this. Some old Motu vibes. The side of a van. Get that airbrush on the side of a van. Right. But keep your eye on this dragon. This is like their thing. It is Legends of Dragonor. I love that thing, and it's kind of come into play.
So you
with
think
their
we
original
might see other dragons down the road?
We definitely will in this line for sure. There's another dragon that they're already sort of teasing, built on the same buck. I also just wanted to highlight what Formo Toys has. I don't own any of these toys at all, but I'm an appreciator. So, and I love what they're doing. You can tell they're really channeling
to an extent as well.
They are. And they're really channeling that vintage vibe. Check out that comic, man. Yeah.
Hey, that's my kind of humor right there, Rick.
If I could give you a prize, you get a no prize. You get a Marvel no prize. John wants that dragon. Yeah, you didn't realize that the wings had places for weapons. Yes, Formo will be there. I don't have the table numbers on me. Sorry. But they will be there, and they'll be in the links after the show. I have all the table numbers listed. But I want to highlight this, man, like the way they're clearly the figures are very like old school nostalgia, but with new characters. And so I love that everything from top to bottom, boxes, comics, is like, this looks like it could have been printed in the mid 80s, right? Like drawn, rendered in that way.
Yeah, and it's so compelling too, because like I try and tell people all the time, you know, if you grew up in the 80s and early 90s, you know, where you got to watch cartoons that were essentially, you know, 30-minute commercials for toys, you want a physical representation of what you saw. Yep. And when you know, like with our, you know, with Spiro's comic, you know, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, the story is so compelling. You want a physical representation of what you just read.
Yep.
So same thing with this, because it hits that nostalgia, you know, like, because reading like the little Motu mini comics when you get your figure, you know, like this right here, the art style, like I said, it's very reminiscent to that. So it's kind of hard not to be like, we'll say like nostalgia adjacent.
Sure. That's how you said it. AWOK is similar. It's like there are people who are like, those Thundercats. Like, no, they're not. But does it make you excited the way that Thundercats did? Then good enough. And so what I just want a quick shout out to the halftone prints, halftone dots that they added into this to give it that extra vintage flair. But yeah, so on that, like, hey, I don't know if folks remember this, but like when there have been delays in this for Wave 1 originally, were you notice? Did you pay attention to this, or did they show this on any of the cons? This was a while back before the figures were being produced. Like there were delays. They thought they'd have them, but in the meantime, they're like, hey, like Kenner back in the day, like if you're an early bird orderer, we're going to get you the early bird kit. So you won't have the figures in hand, but you'll have these. But it came with this dope castle, right? And everyone's like, man, are we going to get that too? And they haven't said, no, we're not giving you that, but check this out. So they haven't said that it's going to be produced, but they teased like this very cool vintage playset looking thing. And I think that thing's so amazing. There's that dragon again, right?
So it's like a maybe.
So it's a what?
So it's like a maybe.
Well, no, they've basically like, no, as far as I know, like it's not a thing that they're making. It's not. But like if the line succeeds, maybe. But they've never said maybe. I'm just sharing you this for a reason.
We talked about when it comes to playsets, you know, like the prices.
Yeah.
Man, like, because who wouldn't want a, you know, a nice tree fort? You know?
Yep. And remember, like Thanos was in on this line, and he's had this for a while. And so I remember him seeing that and showing me this the cardboard thing, and I think it's fantastic. So we've been talking about how fans can take things and like customize. We talked about AWOK, and we talked to check this out, dude.
Don't.
This is John Magon, or Magon. He took that concept and was like, hey, I want to build this thing. And I was blown away when I saw this, and we'll kind of like share. He took those designs, and yeah, it ends pretty quickly, but he took those designs and built it.
Wow.
And
Castle Grayskull's got nothing on that.
It totally. And
now that's a playset. Holy crap.
Respect for the house too. That mid-century modern home too is looking good. But that aside, this thing is fantastic. Think about all the work that's put into it. But that's a one-of-a-kind work of art that you have with your figures. It's so cool to see like people be become so fans of a brand new thing, right? So hardcore that they want to do stuff like this. And I find it super inspiring.
That's how you know you love something. When you're
exactly.
When they're not going to make it, I'll do it. Man, that's cool. That a literal passion project. That's so dope.
Yeah. Just like, oops, let's go over here. And there's like play features. Like, check this out.
No way.
Well, as far as like not quite, maybe play features in the right way, but you'll see. Yeah, I hear you, Josh. Like Formo needs to buy that design and make it 100%. Man, this thing is amazing.
It just costs
Thanos
for all that. Even if you do just a plastic shell, to have any kind of like extra add-ons to it, it's just until you get to that point where you've got Mattel money, you know,
of course,
where like if I release, an Eternia, that people are going to spend that kind of cash to get it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got the Mattel money to produce it, let alone, and then still ask for the crazy amounts of money it's going to take to get it in your home, right? But just like, it's cool to see the figures there and see how this all works. He's working on the lore and kind of creating aspects that would happen, right? He's sort of imagining what this would look like in the place. I think this design back here, I'm not sure if it's pulled from something else, but it feels totally in line with that armor.
It definitely looks like it was a part of the world already.
Yeah. And then he's got this sort of mirror thing going on, so like it's this endless effect of like this infinite abyss.
Pool.
It's so cool, man. And so I am just super impressed by folks who not only like they get their geek on, right? They're like, let's go.
I am in full support of whatever makes somebody, I should not makes them happy, but adds to their happiness.
Yeah. That's right. And so there's oops, I didn't show. There are additional photos that I'll put in the links to his Flickr that he shared with me. You all need to check it out, seriously. And then like, tell him how much you love it. Go to these YouTube videos that'll also be on the links, and like, hey, let him know. Like, encourage this dude because he's doing some solid work. So, Formo Toys, man.
So difficult because there's so many lines that I would love to be able to to support further.
Sure.
It's just like, man, I don't have the funds nor the space. It's not that I can't admire it from over here. I'll just have to live vicariously through somebody else.
Yeah, and for me to put it on this show, I want folks to know, like, I don't own any of these Formo toys, but like I love them and I've talked about them. It's because if that's what I can do, I'd love to like share my appreciation and put it out there because this stuff is good. And as well for John Magon for doing this stuff because this stuff is great. Thanos has already dropped the links in the chat, but it'll also be in that URL that you can see swirling at the
bottom. Man, Thanos is on top of things.
Yeah, dude, he's the homie. Thanos helped make this show happen from the start. He's the one who pushed me and said, "Yeah, do it."
GC.
Okay. So I know you know these guys.
Oh yeah,
Greater Beast Studios. They travel with you and do a similar circuit. Yeah.
To a degree, I will say this. I feel like I saw them a lot more last year than I have this year. But man, they are doing some amazing things. This is another company that I wish that I could have all of their stuff because it's just like they're literally creating pieces of art with the amount of detail that they put into them. Yo, what up, RG? I watch my man's toy hunt videos all the time.
Yeah, he's awesome. I agree with you in terms of the work of art, man. The level of paint on this thing. This has been shown. This was at Legion's Con last year, right? And I think it was at a PowerCon before that, or maybe not PowerCon. But I remember sort of seeing the pictures, and I was like, man, I want that thing. This is still sort of my anticipated. It was my most anticipated toy of 2024. I don't think it's coming in 2024. So now it's my most anticipated toy of 2025.
It's just anticipated, right?
Well, it's the one piece that I ended up backing. I really liked Cyberzoic stuff, but I was like, I got to pull back. So I ended up just with this one piece. And I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. I've talked so much about it already on this show, but I'm excited to be able to see it at Legion's Con and meet those guys.
I think a lot of what gets me with them is not necessarily, like, don't get me wrong, like I absolutely love their work, but I think it's everyone on staff. Like, just everyone. Like, I
awesome people.
Dude, I mean, like, seriously, like, just some of the coolest folks that you could ever come in contact with. incredibly talented, obviously, and just really, really kind. And that's the biggest thing for me, man. Like, even if you were making crappy toys, and when I say crappy, I mean like, just something that I wasn't into and the design wasn't that great. If you were really nice to me and really kind, I would still be supportive. Like, that's all it takes for me. Just be kind to me. We're cool. Best friend for life. Just be kind to me.
I got a taste of that, and Adam was gracious enough to, when he interviewed Perlichetti and Chaotic, Chris and Ron, is that right?
I'm sorry, you cut out.
Sorry, I don't know if I pronounced Perlichetti or Perlischetti. I don't know, but they were both super cool. I know exactly what you're talking about, man. They were, and two very different personalities.
Oh, very much so.
Super fun to hang out with. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to meeting those guys. But everything they do, as you say, is like gorgeous. So they've been doing the dinosaurs, beasts of the Mesozoic. Then they branched off to kind of give us this fantasy world of Cyberzoic that I showed you that dragon from. And this is more of that Cyberzoic stuff that
and I want all of that. When I say all of it, I mean, I was a huge Dino Riders fan.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I give Adam a hard time about it. Is every single time that every single time we're around one another, I find out more things that he's into that I too am into. Yeah. It's like, how are we not best friends already? Like, for real. Because his love for Dino Riders, same. Like, as soon as I saw this, and then like the fact that like there are armor pieces that you can take off to build other. Come on, man, are you
right? Totally, they transform into other creatures or vehicles. It's wild. It's fantastic. So these are the guys who designed, the most scientifically accurate toys of dinosaurs, and then they're like, yeah, but we want to do Transformers too. So it's pretty amazing. It's some good stuff. They just dropped this not too long ago. Was it a week ago or something? Anyway, but I think this looks fantastic. This was a Kickstarter exclusive colorway that might seem very similar to a thing.
There's a striking resemblance,
right? But they're also got this newer thing going on. There's only a couple more days left, 4 more days. They've been working with PBS Eons to then move into big old mammals, right? So prehistoric mammals, specifically in this case, the woolly mammoth figures, an adult, and what do you call a baby elephant? Cub? I don't know. Little elephant, little woolly mammoth. This thing looks pretty amazing. Oh, sorry, I don't need to play that, but it's straight on backer kit. I know that's a little confusing for folks, but sometimes they associate, especially like with AWOK.
They're so
backer kit is sort of the after process, but yes, they're doing straight up the crowdfunding on backer kit. They are so close. They got 4 more days. I'm assuming it's going to be good to go, especially at that end.
What?
But
sorry,
that said, what?
Sorry, I was just reading Adam's comment. I'm quite surprised. Wait,
sorry. Is that true? Yeah, I'm surprised by that too.
What?
But anyway, so yeah, folks are sort of seeing like the Smilodon that they're doing. That was kind of their foray into the mammals, and then they started doing this one. And so I'm hoping, and I feel like it's going to, just based on the track record of these sort of crowdfunding efforts. The only maybe reason I'm a little hesitant is that I think they're playing to a very different audience maybe in this, because they're definitely like hardcore dino people. I wonder if there's the same love for prehistoric mammals. I would think so, but damn, they just posted, oops, that's not it. They just posted some updates to it, and I think he's got it towards the end here. You can see kind of David handling these figures, but they look great. Oh, it's actually down here. Check this out. Oh man.
Oh my Lord.
That just looks too much fun. Like too much fun. $200 though. It's definitely a little bit up there, but where else are you going to get it is the other thing. At the quality that Creative Beast Studio gets you.
Looking at the quality, like just the sheer amount of detail that's put in it, and knowing like the people behind it.
I love her little like this 80s or 90s studio shot. But yeah, this thing looks amazing. You're absolutely right. Like we're on the same page with the quality.
It's like when I would go to my tattoo artist, he had this sign in his shop. It would say a good tattoo's not cheap and a cheap tattoo's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you can get the toy for cheaper doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a good toy. You know,
100%.
But that looks damn good. And see, I don't call Ross by his last name. I just call him Ross because his last name is
yeah.
So I'll get out.
I wasn't sure. I was like, is it Ross? Is it right? It's been a while, but 11 inches long, 9 inches high.
Jeez. 24 points of articulation on that, man. Like that's ridiculous.
And then there's the little baby.
How cute is that?
Yeah, super cute. Little guy, 3.5 inches long. There's
I got to see the prototype of that at Joe Fest.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's quite impressive. Quite impressive.
So, and then there's a little baby one. It's cheaper. I think the baby one is a little, I'm sorry, when I say baby one, a smaller scale one, 1/35th little mammoth. But I think it's really cool. And then they did have unlocked stretch goals. I don't know how far these are going to go, but they also sort of show the prices. But just to give you a sense of like, what they were thinking, what they're hoping to do. This is the smaller one, so don't get it twisted. It's not $55. The big one's not $55. Then you got like the so cool stuff. But they too have a base of fans, kind of like the tribe that are loving their toys, and especially in the photography world. There's some beautiful stuff, man. This was actually from a collab called The Beauty of the Mesozoic, but this one in particular, I just love. Like, if it's a shame because you miss out on all the detail of the sculpts and paint on these things, but just the silhouette alone is pretty.
Yeah, they have. Oh man, why am I spacing on the young man? They have a photographer that travels with them from time to time. Nutty Baka, I want to say, on Instagram. My dude's a teenager, and his photography is ridiculous. Like, it's gorgeous. Like, all the stuff he does is absolutely fantastic. And like, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to head to my phone so I can try and find it because I want to bring attention to it because I think that it's something that you would appreciate.
Yeah, but I think this stuff is great. And again, it's kind of on what we're talking about with like the awesome fan bases that are surrounding these like smaller companies. And obviously there's a huge Marvel Legends toy photography customizing for sure. But it means a lot more to these smaller companies, I gotta say. Like it's a huge deal to have people want to enjoy their toys. Yeah. I think this stuff is so cool. This one's gorgeous. Sorry, I should be saying names. This is by Paleo Past Photography. The other gorgeous shot was from Dogosaurus Rex. I just love that shot. This stuff is like, you blink and you're like, wait, is this like from some CGI thing on Apple TV showing me like, how these things lived?
I just tagged you in one of his Instagram photos that he did of a Tyrannosaurus. But like, that's not even. I just did that just so I could get you to his page. Like,
yeah.
His stuff is absolutely fantastic. But I got to meet him at Houston Comic-Con. Was I think the last show that I saw them at, and just absolutely fantastic work. And for him to be so young,
all right, let's check it out.
If you're able to find something that you're passionate about, look at that. How cool is that?
Yeah. Follow.
Man, like I said, check his account, man.
Is it Nutty Bakas?
Maybe.
Or Bakas. But this thing is, the lighting on this is awesome.
All of his photos are pretty much on par with this. Like I said, if you actually,
I know it's a little bit out of pocket because we're looking at Beasts of the Mesozoic. That wasn't necessarily one, but here you go. Here's some Beasts of the Mesozoic. Yeah, he's working with that natural sunlight effect.
My first introduction to their stuff was actually Laura Legends, the YouTuber Laura Legends.
Huh? Yeah.
Dave had sent something to her for her to review. And that was my first introduction to their actual work before actually, getting to meet them. Because first time I met them was at PowerCon, and they were directly across the aisle from us. And I was like, oh my God, I remember seeing them on YouTube. Their stuff is freaking gorgeous. So, of course, me, I had to go over and was like, hey, man, just had to tell you, I absolutely love y'all's stuff. It's fantastic.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Gorgeous. No, it's, yeah, dude, it's gorgeous stuff. Oh, there you go. Yeah, this is the inspiration. I love that too about what they do. Is it's sort of like coloring these things, using colors in
Dave's real big on
modern
color.
birds.
You know, and Ross has been doing a lot of work for Hasbro here lately too. A lot of the animals.
Yes.
So if you've got that Naugahyde pack, you've actually already got some of his work.
That's right. That's right. I forgot that.
Box signed by him.
Look at this thing. God, that's so gorgeous.
How
so
cool.
Yeah, I love it, man. Legions Con very much is like, it's a toy show, but it's so much more. And that's what I'm excited about. Like getting to see these folks there. You know, there's photographers there, there's customizers, there's 3D printers, there's you know, the whole nine, as well as indie companies like the ones I've shown you today. There's more too. Like I haven't even gotten to this, and I'm just gonna drop them in here just because I love them so much, and I've talked about them quite a bit. But these guys are going to be there, and you mentioned them earlier.
So Brian, last weekend, you may have seen it if you follow him on his Instagram. The armor from the Brutal Realms actually fits on Pale quite well. Just saying.
Yeah, and that's what I would love to do that. So, you know, on that, this is their beastly, one of their new beastly offerings that they're looking at.
I got a shirt from them. I was so excited. I forgot to share it on my Instagram.
There's a Brutal Realm shirt.
I got a
man. I need a Brutal Realm shirt. What's up with that, guys?
And a plethora of stickers from them.
Okay.
I know a guy. I think he's kind of one of the dudes in charge over there. His name's Jason. Not, you know, tooting my horn or patting myself on the back.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, so I'm obviously like excited, and I appreciate you kind of like, hey, talking to me a little bit about what's going on with AWOK, but what it's, you know, and then looking at these other companies that are going to be there. Are there other ones that we didn't look at today, like other folks that you're looking to reconnect with there, or maybe see for the first time that you've been looking at?
Well, so I know for a fact that Renders FX is going to be there.
That's right.
Yeah, Flipor.
Renders was on this show before. Awesome guy, and like super knowledgeable, and just loves to talk with folks about stuff.
I brought you and Adam up to him at Toylanta or Joe Lanta. Too many Lanta.
Joe Lanta. Yeah.
Oh, my Lanta.
Yeah.
I talked to him at Joe Lanta. I brought up both you and Adam in regards to you know, just my man needs more eyes on him. He's very talented, and 100%. He's doing a lot more stuff. You know, it's just avenues to get there. Let's see. Of course, Cyber Beast. I can't wait to see them. It's just nice to be able to chop shop with folks that I hadn't seen in a while. You're actually going to have my childhood best friend on your show here as well.
Cloud is coming up. Yeah.
Excited to see her and her wife. If we're all at the same hotel this year, fingers crossed, because my wife's going to be there. So that's going to be fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
They have met. They've met.
No, no.
Oh, they have not met. Okay.
Last year was the first time that I had seen Cloud since we were, I want to say 15 years old.
Oh, no kidding. Well, you know, Cloud and I are on a couple of Discords, and you know, she's mentioned like, oh yeah, you know, that you were there and then you guys knew each other. I didn't realize that you hadn't seen each other in so long. She might have told me that, but yeah, you know,
childhood best friend.
That is so awesome. That's really great.
Love her to death. But no, so I mean, honestly, just all of our fans, you know, anybody who wants to come and chop shop and talk toys, the Brutal Realms guys, now knowing that they're going to be there, I'm excited to see them again because they're really fun folks. Purple Gang.
Oh yeah.
Look, so we got to go on their show last weekend, and Koya was there in the room with us, and she's over in the corner just laughing her rear end off. If you've not had an opportunity to sit in on one of their shows, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
absolutely hilarious. And being a participant is even more fun
Unfortunately, I will be leaving Sunday. But my understanding is they're going to be doing it live. So I don't know how long you guys are. I'm assuming you guys are staying while.
We probably won't leave until Monday.
So just a heads up, that could be something that you all get dragged into and, get clipped into and all of that.
If I'm not mistaken, I think there's a rumor of possible T-shirts at this show.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
in brown.
I don't know about in brown.
I'm just kidding.
I'm not a brown guy. I don't look good.
This guy's gonna be there, and we'll have his table and trying to figure that out. Man, that's what I'm saying. It's like all these folks are gonna be in the room.
All right, I might need you to pick up some Ollie's stuff for me. That has been my biggest pet peeve here lately. My Ollie's has 12 pallets of toys sitting on the main floor, like in the front when you walk in, and they have no intentions of opening any of it until it gets closer to Christmas time.
Can you see what's in it?
Oh,
no? Are they like clear? They're clear wrapped. Oh, that's a bummer.
It's
clear
wrapped in the boxes. I know what it is. I want it. I'm like, yep, that's me.
Let them know. Hit them up on the stream, or
like, I need it. I'm just looking at it this way. It's just an opportunity to save some money until it drops. Oh, damn. Well, so I will say this: if there's ever anybody looking for anything from Ollie's, hit me up. I'm totally down to help you find it.
I love it. He is N.E.W.S, man. And his link and information will be in the, I think it's actually in the description, but he will be down there at bit.ly/BrickSomethingNews. You mentioned it. Thank you for reminding me. The next couple of weeks, this is where we're going. Obviously, this is now, but next Sunday, it'll be hanging out a little bit more with AWOK, a fellow AWOK fan, talking a little bit about photography, talking about what we're sort of seeing at Legions Con as well around that side of things. Then there you go. We got Cloud Foxwell coming in on October 20th. He's going to be rad. And then Trevor Williams, both of those two will be there second time. There aren't a lot of folks who have come back for a second time, mainly because I've been wanting to bring in all these other folks, but I'm happy to have them back and definitely talking about Legions because they're both
I appreciate experts. You for even extending the invitation to have me on.
Come on now. And then of course Nolan, right before we end, I want to pick his brain about man, am I even going to bother trying to film anything, or should I just focus on the show? And so that's what
plenty of opportunities to get some excellent B-roll.
Yeah, so we'll see. Plus we'll take a look at what he's planning on bringing, and because he'll be there too, tabling. So that's what's coming up here on the Brick Something channel. What else should I let people know about? I feel like I should let people know that this Tuesday, I'll be back on the Toy Migos for Chat Migos Assembled, which I'm excited about. I love those guys. Happy to be back. And then just what I just showed you. How about you? What do you got going on? What's it like? You've got Secret Galaxy Expo coming up, yeah?
Weeks we're going to be gearing up for Secret Galaxy, which we're really excited about that show. It's only a one-day show, but we are planning to have some fun. I think Jason may still have some Wave 4 figures. If he does, it's very minimal, maybe 5 that we're going to bring with us, because it's just a one-day show, so we're not going to bring a whole hell of a lot out there. But
let me pause you on that really quickly. If you're not familiar with what he's talking about, go check out Adam, Highly Articulated. We just talked about and broke it down, what that means, why it is that Spiro had a couple of those figures ahead of the shipment. But anyways, keep going. What were you saying? The rest of
so Secret Galaxy Con, come see us. We're going to have a couple things there. Usual, we'll give away some hammers and stuff like that.
That's right.
It's always hammer time.
Hammer's going to be around the venue again, or just come to the table?
So, I want to talk with Jason about that. Because we had something fun we did for a previous convention where we had a hammer that had a red dot on the hilt. If you found it, there was a little prize that you got. So we may try and do something like that. The biggest thing that I would like for him to get people to start being aware of is this year we're actually doing a Toys for Tots raffle.
Oh, okay.
It is going to be a completely custom painted Thane by Jason.
Nice.
he's already commissioned Arlen to make a new accessory to go with Thane. So yeah, it's going to be a raffle. I don't know the specifics as of like how much it's going to cost on the raffle itself, but anyway, all of the proceeds are going to end up going towards Toys for Tots.
So that's got to happen pretty soon. Yeah, you're right. Get on Jason about letting people know about that. I will obviously love to help let people know.
Of course,
apparently a couple of your victims, by the way, just Art wants to publicly say, like, yes, in fact, he was hammered by. Got hammered by you.
Man, everybody's got to get a little hammered from time to time.
Anyway. So that's great. That's awesome. That's a cool idea, and I'm glad to hear that. I didn't know about that.
Gathering the Tribe. We want to do a Gathering the Tribe photo at Legions. So anybody, like, we'll try and decide on a day. I'm sure between you and Adam and myself, somebody can get the word out as to where.
Right.
Man, I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That I can think off in my head. So let's see, we got Secret Galaxy coming up. Wave 4, God willing, should be available here soon, and we can have that with us at. I'm hammered right now.
Sorry, I was just.
This is not busy at all. I'm not sure why he's dragging.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, obviously, yes. Jason is busy. That's probably why it hasn't happened. I guess more so what I meant is, don't get Jason on that. How can we help take that off his plate?
He's not nearly as busy as you guys think he is. I live closer to him.
Don't start, man.
I know.
Don't start. I got to deal with it. But anyways.
Lazy day today. I think I'm just going to paint these samurai.
And then, so I guess the pre-order thing is going to be a little bit different for like handling, since it's going through Fulfill Right. You guys aren't going to have that same sort of interaction with the pre-orders as you did in the past, right?
I gotta lie to you, that's the one thing that kind of sucks, is that I've been enjoying anybody who's placed an order with us over the last couple months. I've been tossing in hammers.
Yeah.
That's my wife and I that have been packing orders here lately, by the way. So if you've gotten a hammer in your order, that's me.
Nice.
Because we've got 6 big freaking boxes full of them. So like, I've had people at cons are like, yeah, I got one from you at such and such, and I'm like, here, man, just take it. I've got plenty. Like,
I love it. Make jewelry out of it. We can
paint it, customize it, do something fun with it.
Yeah.
I've seen cool stuff with that. I also saw one on eBay for $15, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, don't pay that. Hit up Derrick, and he's a real nowhere man. I couldn't resist. He's a real
There's a reason behind that.
Go for it, and then we'll close out.
Down here in the South, everybody's last names, has the like Boudreaux, Thibodeau, the EAUX.
Yep.
Is a O. So nowhere man. That's why I was just I considered myself to be really clever. That's all it is. I thought I was clever. I'm here in the South. I'm going nowhere fast. I've used that.
That's what you want to go out with, man. But okay, cool. All right, check out Nowhere Man on IG. Hit them up for real. Like if you want to reach out to them if you're interested in the whole Gathering the Tribe thing and want to let him know that you're there. That's definitely like a huge effort that he's trying to do, and I want to support where I can. But hey, thank you to everybody who's been hanging out today. I feel like we need an intro here. For coming through. Appreciate you. See you November 9, 8, whenever.
Are you a hugger or a handshake kind of guy?
I can do hugs. I can do it all. So I'm not whatever.
I was going to say, not all of them. My wife's going to be there.
Yeah.
I want a hug, though.
All right, man. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Have a great week.
Hey, thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, it's still live. But what horrible thing do you want to say? Is there anything?
I have nothing horrible to say. I really appreciate you for having me on.
Yeah, tell me how you really feel about Jason, though.
I love him.
Yeah. Well, okay, hold on. Let me click end stream, and you can tell me the truth.
No, funny.